Hey everybody, it's a great day here at Agile Dev, and I just wanted to walk you through installing Cloudflare on your site. And to kind of give you an idea of what Cloudflare is, we'll take a look at this little map. It might change on us, but you can kind of make out the United States here, right? So if you are hosting your site over here in Arizona, but your customer is over here in New York, then sending your files from Arizona to New York is going to take a lot longer time than if your files are hosted here in New York and somebody in New York accesses your site. And so basically it's just keeping versions of your website in different strategic locations, as you can see here on this map. And so if somebody right here accesses your site, then this center would send the information. And it just makes everything faster. The other cool thing about Cloudflare is they do have a free version, and it also comes with an SSL that you can put on your site. And so we'll just go through all that. And so what I'm going to do first is actually come over here to our website. I'm going to install a couple plugins that we're going to want to use. And so let's just type in Cloudflare. And there's two plugins that we're going to use. We're going to use the Cloudflare plugin, and then we're also going to use this SSL plugin. So what this does is actually just, like it says, prevents a redirect loop. And so we're going to go ahead and activate both of them. And here in a second it'll change. Alright, so we've activated those. We're just going to go here to the settings, and we're here. Okay, so you can click here to create your free account. What I've done is I've gone to Cloudflare, I hit sign up, and so I've just put some information in here. And if you want the updates, you can, but we're going to go ahead and log into here. Now what we need to do is just put our website URL there, and that's what this is. And they're going to go ahead and query the DNS records. Alright, and here's where you're just going to select your plan. We're going to do the free plan, and we're going to go ahead and confirm that. And then it'll take us here to our DNS query. So what we want to do is we are going to just go ahead and hit continue on this for now. And it's going to ask us to change our name servers to these that it has. So we'll just copy the name server here, and I'm just going to go into my cPanel or to my domain name DNS, and I'm going to come here to the name servers, hit change. I'm going to do custom, and we'll add that one there, and then we'll copy this one and add it there. Alright, we're going to go ahead and hit save, and that's going to go ahead and switch the name servers over here to Cloudflare, and they'll go ahead and handle all that stuff for us. So it can take up to a day or so for this to switch over and for the SSL and everything to take effect, but you can still do things while you're waiting. So you can go ahead and hit recheck now. It says that it's queued. It'll be back when it's ready to go. So while we're waiting on that, let's go ahead and go back to Cloudflare, and it says you already have an account, sign in here. So we're going to go ahead and fill this out, and it's asking for an API key. Now the API key, where you're going to find that is here, and you're going to go to my profile, and you'll come down here to global API key, and you're going to hit view, and it's going to ask you for a password. Make sure that you're not a robot, and could do a little test for you. can go ahead and hit view. We'll copy that, and we will paste it into here. We'll save that credential. Alright, so now what it's going to ask you to do is to optimize Cloudflare for WordPress. This is a really easy way. You just hit apply, and it'll actually go through Cloudflare and set your settings to some WordPress optimized settings. Now you can go through Cloudflare and probably see some other tutorials that can help you improve it even more, but for now you're just going to hit apply for that. Now the next step we're going to do is go to Cloudflare and just do a couple more settings. So if we come here to Cloudflare, this is the overview. It says it's now protecting our site, which is great. Now the SSL might not be active yet. It seems like it takes a few hours to show up, especially if your internet service provider has any type of cache on their system. So I found that mine usually takes about 3 or 4 hours for my SSL to show up on my browser. But if we just go through this is going to be like the website traffic. You know, since I just added this, there's no traffic on there. It's actually going to show you how many tags it's blocked and things. Your DNS, it'll show you that information. If we go through here, it says full. I actually like to put it on flexible because that just seems to work better. We go through all these. On my sites, I might make a couple of these changes, but because this is kind of going to be generic for a lot of different websites, we're just going to leave all those. If we do access, if we do speed, one thing I like to do is activate Rocket Loader. You could do a mobile redirect if you have a specific domain for mobile. And go to caching. If you wanted to, you could purge your cache here. If you're in Cloudflare and you need to purge your cache, one time when you'd need to purge a cache, like let's say that you made a change to a page, you changed the content on the page and you just can't get it to show. It might be because there's a cache here on Cloudflare, and you'll just need to purge the cache in order for it to show up. And so we have a bunch of different options here as well that we can do, and there are some great tutorials online that show you how to really optimize Cloudflare in the free version, so you could go ahead and look at those. Now the next thing we need to do is to come here to performance and go to extensions, and we're going to go ahead and activate Cloudflare. And we're going to go ahead and go to the settings, and we're going to authorize. Hit next. It's going to have, if you have several different domains, it'll show a bunch of them here, but we just have the one on this account. We'll go ahead and hit that. Now what we'll do is we'll go through and optimize the rest of these settings for Cloudflare, and to do that we're just going to go ahead and start at general settings. We'll make sure that page cache is enabled. With Minify, we're actually taking care of that with Cloudflare, so we're just going to disable that. So with the database, we're going to be using Cloudflare, so we'll just disable that. With the CDN, again, we're going to be using Cloudflare, so make sure that's disabled. Alright, so I think that's going to be all the settings on this one. Page cache. Okay, so we've got that set, which is all the settings we need on there. Now, what we want to do is we're going to go to our Cloudflare extension. And we're just going to change a few settings here. So, probably the most important things is to make sure that this says aggressive. And as we scroll down here, these are all minifying the JavaScript, CSS, and HTML are all going to be handled by Cloudflare, which is great. We come down. We can enable hot link protection. That just makes it so that other websites can't post your images and use up your bandwidth while you're doing that, or while they're doing that. Usually just select medium here underneath the security level, and then the other thing here is you saw that I had changed this from full to flexible, and just keep that on flexible, and we'll go ahead and save those settings. Alright, and so for the most part our Cloudflare is now installed. Again, it's going to take just a little while for it to show up. You can see that it says not secure here. In my experience, it's taken 3 or 4 hours to show up on my server. Alright, now it's been a few hours and it's time to test if the secure SSL is working. So what I like to do is I just open up a new tab and I'll just paste in the new site with the HTTPS here, and if it comes up, it's working. Now this doesn't mean that if somebody goes to your site without the S that they're forced over, and so there's a couple steps we have to do to make that happen. Now one thing we can do is come here to our Cloudflare account. We'll just come in here and here we go. Alright, so when we come down here, we can just click on here and it will say always use the HTTPS, and that's going to be great. So now that we've done that, another thing we can do is when we come here to our dashboard, we can go to the settings, and in the general settings we can also go ahead and change this to S and S right here. Go ahead and hit save. One thing that I also like to do, even though it's probably not needed, is I like to go here to permalinks and I just like to hit save. I don't change anything. Please don't change anything when you do this, because it can really mess up your site, but I just like to hit save just so that it can refresh with HTTPS. Alright, so let's go ahead and test this out. It just forced this over to the HTTPS, which is great, and that's what we wanted it to do. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us on support@agiledev.org, and we'll see what we can do to help you out. If you can also go to our website at agiledev.org and just fill out any of the forms on there, and we'll get in touch with you and see what we can do to help. Alright, thanks for watching. Have a great day.